Hello, come on in. Let's go round.
Oh my goodness, there's even a piano!
There is a piano. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. So, so as we had the introductions, my name is Paul, and this is Tiffany.
Hi.
I will be your musical director for this weekend. Tiffany Tiff is an amazing assistant with her musical abilities. Also, she's going to also help with the musical staging. My life is devoted to music and self-expression because it is the best therapy you could ever have. It's free. Everyone can do it. It's so inclusive. Everyone sings when we're babies before we're told that we can't sing, or maybe you're the athlete or the academic. That's how we communicate. You're not gonna bring me down today. Say you're not gonna bring me down. Music is truly international. It's inclusive. Whatever your race, background, ailment, condition, age, therapeutically, holistically, it's a way of being. It's a way of life.
If I were to stop someone on the street and tell them about this program, I would say that it is for 25 kids from across the country who all have some sort of association with the bleeding disorder. It's an experience for them to come and put on a musical about their struggles and express themselves through the arts.
Hi, my name is Irina.
My name is Carson McCabe.
Hi, I'm Emma Gould, and I'm auditioning to get into Breaking Through.
Hello, my name is Elijah Eke, and I will be singing Mulan's I'll Make a Man Out of You. Let's get down to business to defeat the Huns. Did they send me daughters when I asked for sons?
The process of writing this script was unlike anything that I had ever done before. I don't have a bleeding disorder myself, but through my work with Believe Limited, I've gotten to understand the demands and challenges that people within the bleeding disorders go through constantly in their lives.
How did we want to present this piece? Did we want it to be a piece that's solely about hemophilia and blood disorders, or did we want to be about a piece that's about teens, that's their life, with a nod towards the condition?
Whether it's your identity crisis or the challenges of, being in school and the stresses of applying for college.
I was not about to let those cool seniors know that I went to a camp for kids with
bleeding disorders!
All the other students stop where they are and listen to that loudspeaker.
Shh! What's the big deal?
I don't want everybody to know.
So a lot of the material for lyrics came from what was drawn from their personal statements.
My script that I, was writing was basically gonna turn into a reworking of all of the applications, just putting it into story, actually lifting lines from their beautifully written applications.
I wanted that to happen because then they would own the material, and they live with this. This is their life, their condition, their day-to-day.
I was amazed at the sophistication, the articulation, the skill, the emotion, and the honesty and the sort of openness, talking about struggles and challenges. It really came through that these young people spent a lot of time on these applications and took them very, very seriously, not only as an opportunity to hopefully get into a program that was cool, but to actually articulate things that maybe they hadn't articulated before.
I feel the payoff and the value of taking material that's based upon their personal lives is they will have this for the rest of their lives. They've got something that is cemented in history now, that is based upon their words, their lives, their journeys, their actions.
Just the last part with the choreography too. When you have people in the audience, you want to do it for the people in the nosebleed seats, because if your arms are light on this part and you barely do it, then nobody can really see that.
I was diagnosed with hemophilia when I was 7. So my mom was a spontaneous mutation. We had no family history beforehand. The way how I found dance, the way how I found my happy place with hemophilia was performing, and that happened to be at Hemophilia camp.
We prioritize treating this weekend really more like a camp than a musical theater intensive.
Camp is an immersive experience. There happens to be nature, there's people telling you what to do, there's a schedule, there's an order of events.
We've got every hour accounted for. There's singing, there's acting rehearsals, there's drop-ins, there's Broadway lectures, but the entire weekend is not about perfecting your professional skill. The weekend is about exploring yourself through theater and the arts. And so we wanted an environment where it's challenge by choice and there's no such thing as failure. We literally pulled in some of the best camp counselors that I have ever worked with to round out our staff so that no matter what was happening at any time, we had people who were committed to keeping that vibe alive.
The overall feeling of like support and love and encouragement, all those things that make camp camp and that cause all the great things that camp causes, those are all still here, and it's really, really visible.
The difference is the immersion into New York City, which is of course its own wild arena. I think we felt like magically supported by everything, taking 85 people on a subway trip, getting to Times Square, keeping our group together. We've had the nature of the city, the way camp has usually the nature of the forest.
So in addition to this workshop being an exciting and enormous moment for these kids and their families who are here with them, just being in New York City is in itself its own secondary experience. Getting to go down on the subway and navigate the subways to Times Square. Busking in Times Square. We were busking in Times Square.
I don't know what this is. I don't know what to do. But my heart's pounding like a drum. I get a certain way when I look at you. Maybe my head, oh, oh, oh.
When they think about the United States, they think about North America, they think about LA, they think about New York, specifically Times Square. And so to see all the cast members' names on the board lit up at night was something that can never be taken away from them. And that's the same marquee that a lot of stars are on that same platform. So that's just kind of how I view our cast members. They're all stars.
We have so many people who have never been to New York before. And yesterday they walked into the New Amsterdam Theater and it was like all the chins were in the air because they've never seen a theater that looked like that. Last night we had cast members from 4 different Broadway shows, including Hamilton, come in to talk about a life in the theater and auditioning.
We're all on journeys and we all are constantly growing. Like no one is ever reaches like a level of perfection, and like you're constantly learning about yourself. And the one thing that I like to say to myself when I don't get a job I really wanted is that like someone else's parents are gonna be really proud of their kid. You know, and that makes me feel really good about like, you know I did my best and it's not my job and it's gonna be someone else's, and their parents and family are gonna be so proud and they're gonna be so happy.
I feel like the energy just keeps kind of topping itself because each time that we've revealed the next thing they're going to do that we haven't told them about, it's really just the moment before we're going to do yet another thing that we haven't yet told them about. So we just keep building experiences on top of each other.
I'm saying I'm with the team, the bleeders and the non-bleeders. No man for that, man. It's New York City, raw bleachers. It's everybody who knows us, man. We making the impact. The new kids on the block, man. We get rim stabs. No time for that. Still wearing the breaking through caps, cause we be breaking through New York City Times. We probably be in newspapers. When you go home, you see all these other kids out here, man. They looking like cool, okay. They're super young and they're being fresh with different type of outlets through art to go express themselves with all the disabilities in store. Because in life we were told that we could do more than just sit around and not play no sports. That's why we chose to use art as our inner voice, the inner out a code for the people who know that hemophiliacs and bleeders alike can put on shows.
I'm a hemophiliac myself, so I definitely share their background and I share their struggles. But what was unique to me was with them being able to sing the songs and them being affected as well, they're telling my story along with theirs.
But Dad, I told you I'm ready to be responsible for my own care.
There are just too many variables. Why don't we just stick to marching band?
Guys, I don't need any special treatment.
But we've seen what happens when you get hurt.
I don't see the sole objective to be simply to create an awesome musical. That's going to happen. I see it the teens finding themselves, finding their community, finding a family, and using the arts as the funnel, as the vessel to create that.
Whether that's art or that's music or drama, I think there's just some really cool things that we can bring out of ourselves and not let our bleeding disorders define us.
With having any diagnosis or any chronic illness, a lot of times what comes with that is sometimes isolation. You don't want people to know too much about what you're going through. You want to kind of keep that private, just in the fear of being rejected. And within the arts, a lot of times there isn't really too much rejection. It really opens you up to just being creative and understanding that you do have a sense of purpose and you can kind of do whatever you want, and there's no hold on you like a lot of the doctors tell you there is.
During this art workshop, I was sitting with a few of the girls, and they literally told me their entire life story. Back home, the girls were saying they're like the only ones in their clinic. It's a little bit difficult for them to find people or females that have that. They know that they're not alone. They're like, yeah, we're gonna be the best advocates for this now because of this. And it was just, I could like get emotional about it because it's just amazing how passionate now they can be and will be.
We all met just a couple days ago, and yet we've formed such a tight bond that it's so awesome to see them excited and succeeding and like totally breaking out of their shells and just owning it.
Music has the power to create change.
I love it.
I'm feeling free and loving life. I'm feeling free and loving.
I wish we had this sort of thing when I was a kid.
This wasn't a thing that happened in the community like when I was younger. A bunch of people who are now in a position that I was before get to have something so different and light years like beyond what was available in my time is appreciated.
We're moving forward, and a lot of things in the bleeding disorders community are moving forward and they're evolving. And this is one thing that is part of that evolution.
So just like we've been doing workshops about how to ground and center for the stage, those are life skills that I know in conservatory I learned that have been most beneficial in day-to-day life. So the show must go on is something we're practicing for the performance, but really like these cast members are gonna go wherever they do into the theater or not in their professional lives and understand that no matter what gets thrown at you, you roll with it, you adapt with it, you integrate it, and as long as you're focused on the people you're with, you're gonna get through it together.
This workshop is just as educational as anything else. You're causing growth, you're having people become better advocates for themselves in the future and really good ways to express themselves and be successful. So I just see it as such like a great investment in the future of our community.
The 25 of them have had an amazing experience this weekend. But what's so exciting about the performance and where it goes from here is that now it gets to go out and reach hundreds and thousands of other people that couldn't be in this little theater, you know, and couldn't come to New York for the weekend. So the fact that it now gets to go out and their voices are going to be the ones sharing this with, you know, so many people that couldn't be here in person, that's where the real impact starts to get felt.
Those kids work so hard, and just watching them perform, and you can tell they love doing what they do. It's just awesome.
The last song that we did, where we had to all come to the front in a line, all of us, all of our voices was heard.
We got to really express what we came here for.
Broadway, my star is a Broadway performer, star.